Thank you.
In the history of the United States, since the Civil War,
I guess they want that for the camera, so you're now famous.
in the history of the United States,
At 3 a.m. on Channel 14, you and I can be seen.
in the history of the United States, since the Civil War, we've only had typically 4, maybe 5 candidates on the ballot in enough states to be elected president. I think there was 2 years, maybe there was 7 candidates. So when you get to be the nominee for the Republican Party, will you agree to debate the other guys that are on the ballot in the United States of America to be elected president so that all of the Americans can hear these guys, what they've got to say? We've got a right to hear you. We've got a right to hear Giuliani. We've also got a right to hear Ralph Nader if he comes along, and who's ever in the Constitution Party. So we're not talking about 20 guys. We're talking about 4 or 5 guys in a debate. If you're the nominee, will you agree to debate these people?
Not necessarily. I'll take a look at what the field is. Part of that is up to the broadcaster as to who they want it. No, part of it is as to who they want to have. So, for instance, I've argued for a field that was a little narrower in one of the last debates, and they said, no, we're going to bring everybody in a little larger field. So, as the broadcaster has some say, the candidates have some say, I guess the Presidential Commission has some say. But I'll keep my confidence on that as to what I want to do. So I'll be deciding what I want to do later, but I'm not going to make that call today.
Well, here's the fundamental problem with the broadcaster concept. It's really not up to them. It's up to the American people and the freedom of speech laws that we have so that we can hear the candidate, just like we came to hear you. So, but what is happening is broadcasters and newspapers are selecting who we get to hear. And that is fundamentally contrary to the concept of our country.
Well, but for instance, there's a guy that wanted to get a chance to speak in South Carolina that wasn't invited. Ron Paul, it was, pardon? Another fellow who's running for president. And John Cox, he's running for president. He wanted to get a chance to speak. They wouldn't let him on the stage. You have to draw the line somewhere. And I don't know where I will draw that line, where I'd want to draw that line. Clearly, if Mayor Bloomberg gets in, and he's an independent party candidate, he's going to have a place at that stage. But you draw the line at where you think you have a candidate that can be viable, that has a prospect of winning. So they typically look at some numbers in polls. Do they have 1% of the population or something? Because you got to draw the line somewhere. Because there are probably hundreds of people who are running. So you got to say who's viable. But I'll make that decision down the road. You can be sure of this: if I'm lucky enough to get the Republican nomination, I'm going to work real hard to win. And my objective is to make sure that if I'm up against Hillary Clinton or up against Barack Obama, we talk about the issues, and maybe Mayor Bloomberg as well. He's a terrific guy. I don't know whether he's going to get in or not, but we'll get a chance to be heard, and our philosophy wins. I know that we lost in '06. We lost a lot of seats around the nation, state houses, governorships, and so forth, and in Congress. And that's not because people said they're turning liberal. That's not what happened. People were upset about the fact that we were losing in Iraq, and they felt that the administration hadn't done a great job there. I think we made some mistakes there. I don't think we did a great job there as an administration. I wasn't in it, but I don't think they did a great job. But America's not turning liberal. The conservative principles of strength, a strong military, a strong economy, and a strong family will continue to guide this country. And I believe the people of this country for some time to come. I have a young lady down there speaking.